Do you ever wonder why certain movies are simply a disaster? Are they truly garbage? Or perhaps they are misunderstood?
Welcome to the main course of cinematic catastrophe that is Le Crap, with your gourmet, Chef Bri and Chef Gio.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Le Crap. My name is Bri.
And I'm Geodial.
Geodial. Desu. Anyway, so I know the premise of our podcast is we try to look for stuff that's like more obscure, try not to look for the usual punching bags. However, a little film came out a few weeks ago. It was recommended by one of my other friends, Cameron, and we've been seeing clips of it everywhere, and we just can't avoid this discussion. So, War of the Worlds 2025.
Yeah. We don't usually do stuff that like all the mainstream YouTubers are taking pot shots at, but this felt like the one we needed to make the exception because boy howdy has everybody and their grandma been taking shits on this thing.
Like legit, like like all the good vibes about K-pop Demon Hunters? Imagine the exact polar opposite of it. But it was just like this is such an extraordinary circumstance because it is so rare where you get a modern mainstream film that's under a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, that is a special movie.
Yeah, it's already being called one of a strong contender for worst movie of the year. Like, here's the thing, too. Like, once we get into it, like, this movie wasn't even made recently. This movie was done, like, years and years ago, and they just sat on it.
Which is so bizarre.
And from every indication, it should have fucking stayed that way.
Because you were talking to me about this earlier in the week. For all the stuff that's been tax write-off and treated like crap, like, this needed to be released. I know this was probably released because of legal reasons, but holy crap.
Yeah, it's like, we don't get the Batgirl movie. It was absolute hell to get that Looney Tunes movie released. Why was this unleashed from the vault? Like, did the world really need this movie to be released? Judging from that 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, a lot of people would say no.
I mean, the only people really benefiting from this are YouTube content creators, because certainly no one else is.
Yeah, the only people that are really getting a kick out of this are the ones that are putting icecube's shocked face in their thumbnail. Oh boy.
But locate, because I think you and I both did like our own kind of individual research, but basically the long and the short of it is that this movie was completed mid 2020 during the height of COVID using some sort of like a screen technology doing like screen stories, and then it was completed probably by like 2021, and then it just sat in Universal and or Amazon's vault for like half a decade. So yeah, I'm sure there's a story there.
I want to know why they finally, like, A, why they sat on it for so long, and B, why they just released it now. Like, it just don't make much sense.
I mean, it's so obvious that they wanted it buried because I don't think this film had like any promotion at all. Like, I would not have known that this film had come out on Prime unless I saw a bunch of YouTubers, mainly like Moist Critical and like Double Toasted, talking about it.
Yeah, like, I only really knew this thing existed because of, like, a couple of random comments here and there, and then I saw that Charlie made a video, and then I saw that Shafrillis made a video on it, and it's like, oh boy. It's like when Mr. Charles Moist makes a video on something, that's when you know it's bad. That's when you know you've really fucked up.
Because it's like real, like the portal scene in Avengers? This was basically all this of like film YouTube. Like everyone came out of the fucking woodwork for this.
Oh boy. But yeah, so from the reviews I've watched, most of them have just focused on the fact that this is a bad movie and it's filmed in a really, really bad way. But like, I feel like not many people are touching on the War of the Worlds of it, because this is an adaptation on something really, really influential to basically the sci-fi genre and to movies and fiction as a whole. And like, I feel like not as many people are touching on that. So
Yeah, the H.G. Wells of it all.
yeah, because from what I'm gauging from this, when I looked into the other adaptations of it, like even the best adaptations of War of the Worlds don't follow it like beat for beat. But like even comparing it to the other adaptations, I'm like, this just does not sound like a good adaptation.
I mean, because so much of War of the Worlds, like the original 1898 novel, is basically a commentary on colonialism. And I'm not sure if that's ever quite translated in most Hollywood adaptations.
Yeah, because it kind of feels more like the Hollywood adaptations focus more on it. It's an alien invasion. Guess we got to deal with that. And like, I think we really need to give this the proper gravitas because depending on who you ask, War of the Worlds, the 1898 novel, was one of the first, if not the first stories to feature an alien invasion of Earth. Like, this isn't any alien invasion story. This is the alien invasion story.
Yeah, like what Frankenstein is to like monsters, War of the Worlds is to aliens.
And like, I feel like it's such a well-known property that we don't really need to go over what the plot of it is. I mean, it's the alien invasion story. You know, Martians attack the Earth. They got these little like tripod robots, and like they die because of they're not immune to Earth-borne diseases. So like, I feel like we don't need to go over that, but I feel like we should probably go over like the three most well-known adaptations. Well, okay, the two most well-known film adaptations, and then
Probably the adaptation.
the adaptation that most people would know about. And that would be the 1938 radio drama featuring Orson Welles, the one that actually caused a very real panic because, well, it was 1938. People didn't have phones or the internet back then. So when a guy comes on the radio relating a very realistic sounding alien invasion story, a lot of people assumed it was real. And like he actually had to give like a public apology, like this was not,
I know, poor Orson Welles. He cooked too hard.
which is crazy because I read he actually prefaced the whole thing by saying it was a work of fiction, but I guess when people tuned in late and missed all that.
Yeah, no, they did not have DVR playback in 1938.
But like I feel like this is the one in particular that the movie we're watching today tries to take cues from based on some like production comments, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But the other two that are really important to understand are first the 1953 film, which is probably the one that's been most influential when it comes to science fiction. Like, depending on who you ask, this one might be the closest when it comes to adaptations, but even then it still changes some stuff around. Like, the original novel takes place in England, but a lot of the adaptations move it to like America.
Because it always has to be about us.
Yeah, because everything's got to be about America. But the other really major one would be the 2005 Steven Spielberg movie starring Tom Cruise.
Which was like peak, Tom Cruise, like jumping up and down in the couch era. Like super duper crazy Tom Cruise. Where everyone first started to suspect, Tom Cruise might actually be a fucking nut job.
Yeah, 20 years later, and nothing's really changed in that department. But in any case, even though all three of those adaptations are different from each other and different from the source material, pretty much all of them are seen today as, good pieces of work by themselves. Just maybe not the best adaptations directly, but pretty much all of them follow, the same general plot line. Earth is invaded by aliens with tripod technology, and they die because they're not immune to our diseases. And I cannot stress this enough that 127 years after the original novel was released, everything that talks about aliens and alien invasions is taking cues from this. This is not some obscure novel that just got adapted one or two times.
Yeah, like this isn't like an I Am Legend situation where, like, unless you like know, like most people just don't associate, I guess these days, that I Am Legend is like, a book from like the 50s. And then the Will Smith movie is like nothing like it. Like it is I Am Legend in name only. But man, honestly, like I wish H.G. Wells got better adaptations because if I recall correctly, wasn't there like a dog shit adaptation of The Time Machine as well?
I'm not 100% sure, but I thought you were going to allude to the fact that I think the same year that the Tom Cruise movie came out, The Asylum made like one or two like dog shit adaptations.
Yeah, the Mockbuster Kings, which I'm surprised we haven't. I don't think we've done an Asylum film yet because I don't think Sharktopus was the Asylum, was it?
No, I don't believe it was.
All right, so let's just put a pin in that.
Yeah, yeah, that's for another day. But let's just preface this by saying even the quote unquote best adaptations of War of the Worlds don't follow the original novel that closely. Which brings us back to today's topic, the 2025/2020 edition.
Starring Mr. Cube himself.
Oh my god. Now, to start off with, this movie actually has something very much in common with our old buddy Roger Corman's effort when it came to the Fantastic Four. And that is that director Rich Lee's main experience was in directing music videos and not much else. I mean, you look at his resume and it's pretty impressive. I mean, he's done a lot of work with like Eminem, Lana Del Rey, the Black Eyed Peas. I mean, this guy's worked with some big names, just, of the musical 5-minute variety. Not like a feature-length movie.
Oh boy, so I'm already feeling things about this.
And I think the other reason that this movie got the attention it did is just because of the cast. I mean, our good Mr. Cube, everybody already knows, playing like a super cool hacker dude, which I feel like that's another discussion for another time of like how movies get hacking wrong. But like,
the only thing I think of like the Hollywood version of the hacking is like that one scene from CSI where it's like super enhanced on the computer.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much everybody's idea of what hacking is. It's just how CSI portrays it. But that's a topic for another day. But like, it's not just icecube in this movie. We got Eva Longoria, and we even got Clark
Agent
Gregg in
Coulson.
this. We got Agent Coulson in this. Now, when you talk about something that was made in 2020, you can't really talk about it without mentioning, a certain major global event that was going on at the time. I, of course, refer to the BRICS. I mean, COVID. It's COVID. We're talking about COVID. So the fact that this movie was made, the way that this movie was made, is directly influenced by everybody was still locked down in their homes. So the way they went about it was with screen life. Now, what is screen life? It's basically filming a movie from the perspective of a computer or a phone screen. Like, hey, y'all know what Skype was? That's this movie.
Meep.
Now, the way that they framed this, and this goes back to me talking about the 1938 adaptation, is that they framed it as, well, people experienced the 1938 War of the Worlds through a radio, which was at the time the way most people consume their media. And they framed it as, well, in 2020, how do most people consume their media now? Through their phones, through their computers. Which, okay, I get that. But is that really the best way to experience a movie? I feel like that's up for debate.
Which honestly makes this like so bizarre that it even got released because like this is already like so dated. Yes, we both know that COVID is still around. It's going to be forever around. Thanks, America. Greatest country in the world. But it just that specific thing, like I get what they were going through, but like the whole concept seems so dated. So it's like, why now? Because I don't think this would have nearly been as clowned on had this come out in like 2021 or 2022.
Yeah, because at least back then people would have been more understanding of like why it has to be that way. Because I mean, this was still around the time when a lot of people were still afraid to just go outside.
Right, and it probably would have even gotten some like accolades because so many TV shows around that time were doing like the Zoom format that it probably would have been called like innovative. Like it wouldn't have mattered if like the movie was good or not, but they're like, wow, people made a movie from their houses.
Yeah, like I think people would have appreciated it more back then, but as it is, they finished this movie like sometime around 2021, then shuttered it away, and then for some godforsaken reason, Amazon just dropped it on our front porch like one of their big stinky delivery boxes, only it didn't contains some likely price gouged anime figurine. Not speaking from experience, but it was just a big, stinky pile of doo doo. And oh boy, have people been going to war on this thing. No pun intended. With a lot of people citing Icecube's performance in particular, and also the fact that this movie is apparently drowning in Amazon product placement. I mean, apparently one of the major characters is an Amazon delivery driver. Like,
God. God.
But I mean, could this movie be as bad as a 3 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6 on Metacritic? Which, yes, it's still sitting at a 6. I mean, if Metacritic hates you,
I know, like, Metacritic,
then you know you fucked
it's
up.
like shit. Exactly. Like, you have fucked up big time. Because, like, you have to be, like, the worst of the worst to get anything below a B on Metacritic.
Yeah, so if even the people on there can't find anything nice to say about your movie, methinks we're about to have a bad time.
Or good, depending on from our perspective, because we're both kind of fucked up. But, like, in a hot way, we're fucked up.
I mean, you're the one who's just had wine before this.
And look, I needed my pre-game setup because... But look, the wine paired awesome with my bloomin' onions. But anyway, good eye. We should probably get into this feature film, shall we?
Help.
There is no help for you. You're friends with me. Like, you are beyond the point of no return.
I was toast the moment you showed me Oogie Loves.
God, like, that might be our Christmas special. Like... Because that is a delightful film. But anyway, to keep on track, me and Gio are going to experience this invasion of the mind melt for ourselves. We'll play whatever trailer crap Amazon's put out, because Amazon barely promoted this thing. Gee, I wonder why. And then when we get back, we will give you whatever coherent thoughts we can hopefully fart out.
Help!
Help! I need somebody. Help! Will anybody help me?
Hey. See, you took the Sunday graveyard shift again. Dad, when's the last time you left the office?
That's classified.
The surveillance industrial complex is collecting massive amounts of data with the Goliath program. Our most precious resource on Earth is data. And data is food for the superior intelligence.
Can you tell yet what they're comprised of?
No, sir. I've never seen anything like this.
Eyewitness video is coming in from all over the world. Terrifying machines rising out of these meteors.
Get away from that! Get out of there! I'm coming for you now!
I would just like to formally apologize to the asylum. I've never personally watched, but I am 200% sure that your adaptation of War of the Worlds is better than whatever the hell this was supposed to be.
Holy fuck.
This was bad.
This was really bad. This
Like,
was
legit-
really, really bad. Like, if you think that the reviewers are overblowing how bad this is, that they aren't. This was horrendously awful.
Like, on an intrinsic level, I think this, without a doubt, is the worst movie we've watched, which is saying something.
Like, it didn't make me as viscerally angry as Return to Zombie Island did, but in every fundamental way, there is nothing redeeming about this movie at all. Just oh my god.
Oh yeah, and the thing that made it worse, like, just when you thought you hated it enough, like, I guess they're trying to be impartial, but there's like a weird glazing of like Fox News, Joe Rogan, and Tucker Carlson, like at the 11th hour.
Yeah, that's the least of this film's sins. Let's call. Oh my god. I am exhausted from watching this. This movie was only what, like an hour and a half? It felt longer.
Yeah, just for perspective, we started recording at about like 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. As of right now, it is 11:16 at night. So this kind of took us a minute to go through.
Yeah, this one dragged because a lot like Zombie Island, we had to hit the pause button to rant so many times.
Rant and laughter.
Because, oh my god, the writing of this movie has to be the worst I've ever seen.
And I hate to use the Mariah Carey meme with Jennifer Lopez again, but world building? I don't know her. Like, this has some of the most nonsensical world building I've ever seen. And you know what? Calling it world building would be, like, super generous. Because literally, like, it's like whatever the plot needs it to be. Like, oh my god. Like, people cracked jokes, like, years ago about CSI's, like, spying and hacking interpretations. But oh my god.
No, CSI's portrayal of hacking is scientifically accurate compared to what's presented in this. It's just hacking is just whatever the plot needs it to be at any given moment. Somehow, some way, with just a normal government issued laptop, icecube is basically a god. Like, the shit that he is able to do with just a laptop, like, he is able to monitor somebody's heart rate. He is able to just the one that made us just stop at one point. He gets his daughter into a Tesla because of course it's a Tesla. Has it hit the autopilot, and then when he sees that the battery on it is low, with the click of a mouse, he is somehow able to add more power to it. It's never explained how. It just happens. Oh, and moments before, no, this one was actually my favorite. Moments before, he just glides over security footage of this car, just glides over with the mouse, and somehow is able to read the license plate.
So would they just shove him in like a random office building to film this? Because if this is 2020, like, I don't think they would have gotten any big permits. Oh, he's gonna hack the car, isn't he?
What's that sound? Shit, it's close by. I'm getting you out of there. Just hold tight. You see that Tesla in front of you?
Pause it.
Okay, of course it's a fucking Tesla. Hold on, I can't tell. The screen's blown. I couldn't find the pause button.
Yeah, of course it's a fucking Tesla, but that's not what I needed to pause about. How the fuck does he put the mouse over the license plate and it just immediately tells him what the fucking license plate number is? That has nothing to do with the car's electronics. How the fuck does it? Oh my god, this is
making CSI blush. Jesus Christ.
I mean, with his, I am guessing, government-issued laptop, he is able to just hack into every fucking thing in existence, can spy on his children at all times, manually delete stuff off of their tech, monitor the daughter's heart rate, and then apparently just read license plate numbers just by moving the mouse over. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is what a teenager, no, this is what a preteen thinks hacking is.
Just, oh my god. Oh. But you know what? That's bold of you to assume that our government has anything beyond computers run by Windows Vista. Like, that's a bold assumption, my dude.
Just what the fuck is...
Like, I would not be surprised if like half of our government infrastructure is running off of Windows XP or Windows 95.
But just how the hell is he even doing half this shit?
Because I can, because hack.
And, oh, wait a minute. No. I'm sorry. No, he's not even on his laptop anymore. Like, he's just a random computer in whatever fucking government building he's hiding out in.
I guess it's supposed to be the Department of Homeland Security offices, but because I'm just assuming from the logo.
Why would a random staff computer just be able to read a license plate number from afar like that just by moving the mouse over it? That's not how it works.
It's not how any of this works. But future Gio. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
What you don't understand. Here's what you don't understand. He has level 3 clearance. So he's super important. So he has the best computer that can do anything. It can do magic. It's a magic computer. You just hit a button and it can do spy shit and it's super duper cool.
Like, this isn't even like middle school level ideas of what hacking is. This is like toddler levels. Like, hell, most of these like headlines and even like the friggin' text in this guy's computer is like,
it's like, cool, bro. So what, she can get crushed in the car? Or get blown up because it's a fucking Tesla? Like, she could just sit in there and not even start and it would just randomly blow up. Oh, is it one of the self-driving Teslas? Oh, God.
Man, that was close.
I got you. Don't look at that, sweetheart. Just keep your eyes on me. Focus on me.
Here's the thing. I don't know a lot about it, but I don't think all Teslas are self-driving. So how would he know that that one's self-driving? Is it like a Waymo? Like, what the fuck?
Got everything under control.
Oh, he could just turn the AC on too. Also, I'm sorry, I need to pause again.
Yeah, hold on.
I need to pause again. So I would imagine during any disaster, but especially one of this magnitude, that traffic would be pretty backed up, yeah? And I mean, with all the meteors and stuff falling from the sky, I would imagine
there'd be a shit ton of abandoned cars.
This looks like how it looks when I drive out for lunch from the office. Just normal-ass traffic and a normal-ass blue sky. Like, you wouldn't... There's supposed to be a fucking alien invasion going on. It just looks like a regular Tuesday midday.
But remember, 9/11 was a perfectly blue day, too. This one might kill me.
This is bad. This is bad. We're not even we're not even half an hour into this, I don't think, right?
No, we are at 31 minutes in. We are barely are crawling with like no arms, no legs over the finish line.
We're only a third of the way into this. This is painful. This is painful. Like any notion that it could have been overblown how bad this is. No, this is bad. This is
like the way that we're crawling is just right after Anakin like got defeated by Obi-Wan and Mustafar. No arms, no legs, just like crawling away from the lava in vain.
Yeah, I think by the end of this, we're going to be screaming, I hate you at this thing.
I also hate sand. It's coarse.
But I mean, my God, we're only 30 minutes in. Think about that. We're already 30 minutes in. It feels so much longer. Oh my God. It has felt so much longer.
I can't even imagine, like, the mod's mostly gone now, but I can't even imagine what I would feel like if I went into this sober.
You think you have the power to keep the world safe. You gotta wake up. You don't have any power.
You gotta be woke, my friend.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah, this is how normal people talk.
Yeah, which, by the way, since becoming a writer, I mean, you write a lot. I feel like you can appreciate how bad this is.
Yeah, no, this is painful. This is painful.
Oh, and he just hung up on her too? What the fuck?
Okay.
He has a tab on there called sabotage.
God damn it.
Bullshit. He just
Bull
magically
fucking
gave
shit.
Tesla more battery. How the fuck did he do that?
Okay, you know what? Pause.
Are you fucking kidding me? Sweet loving fuck did he do that? Did he just give the Tesla more battery just with a click of a mouse?
I don't know. It might be that the power of Sieg Heil. That Nazi energy is. I'm surprised that Tesla doesn't have a plant in Brazil.
Fucking kidding me. Oh, he doesn't have power, right? Well, your Tesla sure does now, sweetheart. Holy fucking shit.
Have the power being a racial minority in South Africa. God, I know this is the part that I'm gonna clip because this is being so spicy. But God, you could tell this came out in 2020. This is pure, Rick and Morty is a show that only intellectuals can understand energy.
Yeah, I feel like Rick and Morty fans probably made this movie. This is the Rick and Morty levels of intellectualism. Just
Where's my goddamn Szechuan sauce? Where's my Mulan Szechuan sauce?
ugh, damn it. Just somehow, just with a click of the mouse, is able to easily read the license plate. How? How is he doing this? Just
Which is the other insane thing is that, I know they have forward and backwards license plates, but in the United States, it's not very common to have the license plate numbers on the front. Usually, on the front, you would have a vanity plate or something.
oh god, I didn't even think of that. Yes. Why was the license plate number on the front? Just okay. I think we need.
Because that's more of a thing in Europe. But anyway, the thing with the Tesla, that's oh boy, you could tell that this movie was shot 5 years ago. But here's the thing, and I was joking while we were watching this. A Tesla would probably be the least safe thing because literally, alien invasion or not, that shit could just blow up his pregnant daughter up randomly, just cause.
Oh my god, there are so many. I think we need to start at the beginning. But I mean, this thing dragged on so long that I could barely even remember what happened at the beginning.
I don't think it was anything too important. It was just we have the beginning of Will's amazing story arc of fatherhood.
Yeah. So what happens here is that Icecube. I'm just gonna call him Icecube. I cannot be bothered to just keep calling him. Well, it's fucking Icecube,
Mr. Cube, if you will.
Yeah, Frosty T Cube. Let's just call. Fuck it. The point is, he is like an Omega God level hacker working for the Department of Homeland Security who regularly uses his government funded laptop to spy on his kids.
Which I'm just tickled at the fact that, Icecube, former member of NWA, because once considered one of the most dangerous men in America, is somehow a fucking cop working for the government. Just beautiful.
Yeah, and as I said before, he just randomly uses work time and his work laptop to spy on his kids. Just with a click of the button, he's just able to use every camera imaginable to just monitor everything his pregnant daughter is doing in college and is able to tell when his son is buying a video game off of the well-known online game store, which I love the fact that this thing is able to use Fox News and all the other real world stuff. Just uses every real world program under the sun, but apparently they couldn't get the license to just say Steam.
Well, here's the thing that's crazier. Why couldn't they just use Amazon's branding? Because Amazon has a game studio, or even better, Twitch. Where the fuck was that?
Yeah, which is really weird considering how much else this movie takes the opportunity to shill Amazon. But so, and in another example of his amazing god tier hacking skills, with just a click of the button, he's able to refund the game that his son just bought. Fucking hell. Yes. So point is, he's doing all these hacking shenanigans. Oh, and the other like super important characters that we need to mention are Eva Longoria, works for NASA. What was she just like his friend? I'm not really understanding like what the relationship was.
They're members of like the team Slack chat. I'm sorry, Microsoft Teams.
Yeah. So you have Eva Longoria who works for NASA and is basically just running around, just doing whatever. And then you have like his daughter's boyfriend or baby daddy. Like he actually labeled him the baby daddy, who, by the way, is an Amazon delivery driver. And that is just the beginning of the absolutely egregious Amazon product placement.
Oh
my
God, is it egregious? Look, and I'm saying this, someone who has an Amazon Prime membership, but oh my God.
Like, I will say this, it's not as bad in like the first like 2/3 of the movie, but then that last act of the movie, it is just, oh my God. But we'll get to that in a bit. So I forget like how the aliens start attacking, but like a meteor shower happens like all over the world and like everything's going freaking crazy. And I'm gonna just say this here. The CGI in this movie is fucking horrendous.
Oh my God. Like, I wasn't kidding about my apology to the Asylum. Like, legitimately, the Asylum movies are like that because they're made really quick and on the cheap. They've been sitting on this for 5 years. There is no reason for this to look like this.
It is absolutely god awful. Like when the alien tripods, which aren't even tripods, by the way, when they finally start sprouting up, they look awful. And there was one movie that had me dying. Like they hit the tripod and it falls down, it fucking ragdolls. It just planks. Oh, those are not tripods. Fuck you. Hell yeah. Oh, no, rewind. No, I need to see that again.
Okay.
I need to see that again.
Yeah, all right, let's see. Look, we could.
No, all right, hit play.
All right. Was it this?
No, keep playing.
No one knows if our weapons will be able to deter their
Hold on. Go back. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to get
fucking
you back.
ragdoll.
No.
Oh my god.
Free our planet.
Hashtag free our planet. I mean, this is laughably bad. I will say this movie is fun bad, but oh my god, with an emphasis on bad. So anyway, the non-tripods start attacking, which, by the way, in the other adaptations of War of the Worlds, the whole point was that the aliens were pretty much immune to like human technology, and the only way the aliens lost was because they were still vulnerable to human diseases.
Because again, colonialism. Because remember, like, when we used to write stories with like allegories that weren't ham-fisted and you needed to use actual intelligence? God, I miss that.
Yep, there's none of that here. But like in this movie, like they're just shooting missiles at the tripods and they're just planking and falling down like nothing. Also, this whole time, Icecube is on the hunt for this super secretive, uber powerful hacker named the Disruptor. Ooh, how foreboding.
And you know what I love is that as soon as you saw this one character, you're like, okay, yeah, he's a disruptor. Like, you just knew. And
yeah,
I
like
kind of felt it too.
in the first 10 minutes, this movie just shows its hand immediately. Like, I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. The disruptor is his son. Like, the movie's not even subtle about it. Like, the first time you meet the son, he's talking about, like, you know, government conspiracies and like all this other hacker type shit. And then it's like, oh yeah, he's the disruptor.
Right,
Like,
and oh my god, it's what Ice Cube said about conspiracy theories.
oh my god, that's right. So at one point in the midst of this alien invasion going on, and Ice Cube is just watching all the footage and just going, damn. That is like half of his dialogue in this movie, just him being like, damn, shit. It's not an exaggeration that his acting in this movie is fucking horrendous, but we'll get to that in a sec. But at one point, his son calls him up and he's like, Dad, I need to talk to you about something. You know, he's like, the government has like this program. It's called Goliath. And there's all this like information gathering. And then Ice Cube's like, son, shut the fuck up with all this conspiracy shit. And he's like, dude, you're in the middle of an alien invasion. But apparently your son's saying that the government's spying on you. No, that's way too unbelievable.
Yeah, I think he says exactly, leave your conspiracy theories at the door. Like, what the fuck, dude?
It's so fucking bad. There's no logic to this movie. There is no logic at all to this. Like, oh god.
Like, my bloomin' onions from Outback Steakhouse. And more logic than this.
So, like, the recurring thread in this movie is that Ice Cube has a really tense relationship with his kids because his wife passed away.
Which I call that, sure. I'm like, oh, we're doing a dead mom story, aren't we? Dead wife, dead mom. Of fucking course.
And it's like he is so hyperfixated that he just goes to his wife's Facebook page and just like every year on the same day just keeps writing to her, just keeps listening to the last voice message that she sent, which was just like, take the garbage out and be good to the kids. Like, what situation are you going to say those exact things? I'm losing my train of thought.
What train of thought? Like, the train left the station, buddy.
Yeah, now I'm hearing
it got derailed.
Yeah, this movie scrambled my brain. Now I can hear the cat meowing outside my door. I'm so sorry, guys. I gotta refocus. But anyway, so
can you ask if your cat can hack? Can it fly the Amazon drones?
Well, hey, maybe Ice Cube could hack my cat. He can hack everything else.
Meow, meow, meow. All right, man. Let's go get it. Go on. Let's find it. Let's go, kitty. And the kitty has like a bomb or like a hard drive attached to it.
Yeah, maybe we can offer the cat $1,000 Amazon gift card. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. I'm sorry, but I'd rather talk about my cat than this movie. But so the aliens start attacking. One of the tripods attacks like near where Ice Cube's daughter was at. Like, she gets hurt, so he directs her to like a Tesla, because of course it's a Tesla. And then through the power of hacking is able to add power to the Tesla. I think this is also the time to say that the dialogue in this movie is really, really bad.
Oh, the worst.
The writing is some of the worst I have ever seen. Like, while Ice Cube is talking with his daughter is just like, you know what your problem is, Dad? You think you just have all the power. You think you have power over us. You think you have power over everything, but you're not. You're powerless. And it's like, normal people do not talk like this. I am sorry.
Yeah, like, legit, if I had written something like that in my screenwriting class, I think my instructor might have smacked me over Zoom.
I think he would have been laughed out of that class, honestly. This movie was completed at the latest in 2021. But if it had been made today, I would have said that this script felt AI generated. Like, that is how bad and stilted the dialogue is. And like the headlines that you see pop up on screen, they feel AI generated because they're some of the most juvenile, just nothing burgers you will ever find. Like,
yeah, they're like crazy shit invasion.
Crazy meteor strike. My God. So he directs the daughter to a hospital with his magic hacking powers, and then
the hospital isn't full, so even better. I think he sends her to like one of like the government labs or something, Which, by the way, so she's supposed to be like a doctor, like studying for a doctorate or like whatever. She's a smart scientist person. Okay, so she has like a metal rod pierced through her. So normal medical person and like anyone with common knowledge would be like, okay, if we're impaled and we're near vital organs, we don't push the pole out until we can get a place where, we make sure we don't bleed out. You want to know what that bitch does?
Yep, she yanks it out. Every single medical drama on the face of the earth since the dawn of time has drilled into your head at some point. Hey, if you've been stabbed somewhere and the knife or the weapon or whatever is still in you, the last thing you do is yank that son of a bitch out. Hell, probably Scrubs at some point probably dictated that. But no, the supposedly smart scientist lady just swoop. But it's okay, because her boyfriend, the Amazon delivery driver, has his trusty handy-dandy Amazon tape and just tapes up her wound. This movie was written by 5-year-olds.
Which I'm surprised, because the usual tape that Amazon has like the Prime logo on it. Like, I'm surprised that like her whole body isn't like wrapped up in the Amazon Prime logo.
Like, that's the same kind of tape that I find in the warehouse at work. Like, no joke. I was using that kind of tape the other day to wrap up a box. Ugh, my God.
Oh my God. Owe me a Coke.
But there's like 500 million times where like Eva Longoria, the magical NASA lady, like seems to die, but then actually doesn't. She just comes back online again. So she goes into like the data lab or whatever, and this is where she finds out that so the aliens in this movie, it's either the really bad looking tripods or the really bad looking tiny like spider creatures, and they all look horrible, by the way, but
they literally look like rejects. If you've ever ridden the Spider-Man web slingers ride in Disneyland where they have the little spider bots, imagine the Temu version of that.
Yeah, and as far as the quote-unquote tripods go, they're basically Temu versions of GLaDOS from Portal, but with legs. Fucking A. So, anyway, Eva Longoria goes into the lab and finds out that these spider creatures, these aliens, are attracted to data. They eat data.
Okay, so you made it. Good, good. What's going on?
Pets. Look, they even do tricks.
Oh my God.
Why are they going after the chip?
The same reason they love my phone. These little guys are drawn to data.
What do you mean drawn to data?
It's intelligent. The more data it consumes, the smarter it gets.
Okay, all right.
No, I'll let you take the floor, because I don't think anything I could say could do it justice.
What? What? What do you mean? How do you... I can't. I'm gonna fucking fall out of my chair. This is... Okay, Bri, compose yourself. Compose yourself. Okay.
This movie was written by a 5-year-old.
Because I'm just gonna treat this like this is a legitimate storytelling. Alright, so just explain to me in layman's terms. Alright, what kind of data are they absorbing? What do you mean by data? Do you mean electricity? Like, are they learning? Are they, like, downloading it? How does this work? You haven't explained this to me. What is happening with these little fucking, Spider-Man Disneyland reject bots? Like, what the fuck? Like, I you've never been to Disneyland, but the Spider-Man attraction over at, like, California Adventure, like, the whole thing is they have these little tiny, like, Spider-Man bots, which, of course, you can purchase for, like, $59.95 or some, like, bullshit. But anyway, there's, like, too many robots and they self-duplicate. This looks like a reject of that.
I just love her line of, I've already forgotten how she phrased it, but like...
Let's just go back. Okay. What does Eva Longoria have to say?
Look, they even do tricks.
Why are they going after the chip?
The same reason they love my phone. These little guys are drawn to data.
What do you mean drawn to data?
It's intelligent. The more data it consumes, the smarter it gets.
I have to say this to my group chat because I just want them to suffer with me. Okay. What the fuck did she say again?
The more data they have, the smarter they get.
Oh my god, how are we even gonna break this down?
I mean, I think it's doing a good enough job of breaking us down already.
Okay, alright. Fuck, since we restart this movie, we've only gotten 2 more minutes in.
This is
This is like delightfully bad. Like I feel like a kid on Christmas morning, which says a lot about my Christmas mornings.
Yeah, this is fun bad. I'll at least give it that it's fun bad. But like, holy shit.
But the thing that makes it like fun bad is you can tell like they were fully serious about this.
Yes, that's the painful part. You could tell that they thought they were making something brilliant.
Like they really thought they were cooking. But the truth is they were just cooking like the hot grease and like burning all the funnel cake.
Director, bro, you should have just stuck to the Eminem music vids. This is not for you, my guy. I'm sorry to say. This is
Like,
not for
no,
you.
like long narratives. No. Come back. Never. Maybe. Which, what the fuck does it even mean? Because we had to pause and like rewind that several times because we couldn't just comprehend what we were watching. That, it was like when the tripod went ragdoll.
Yeah, and then she says something along the lines of they're eating the data and then they're getting smarter. And it's
like, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. I'm sorry I'm stealing your catchphrase, but
it's fine. I'll allow it for now. But the next time you do it, you got to pay the tax. But anyway, yeah. So the aliens are attracted by data. They eat data, and this leads to some really infuriating moments later on because this movie is so inconsistent when it comes to what it considers data or like what things are controlled by data. It is just
yeah, especially if like the internet is thing. Because here's the whole thing. I was like, first of all, if there's any like mass alien invasion or terrorist attack, like cell phone towers and stuff like that, and like internet would be like probably the first infrastructure to go. Which, by the way, the internet for like the finale of the movie, I'm like, I can't even go into it now because I don't want to spoil it. But it's like, how on earth would this work in these specific set of circumstances, especially at this point of the invasion?
Just internet and just things in this movie just work whichever way the movie needs it to work. So at this point, they find out like the aliens are attracted by data. And so Icecube's son finally comes in and like, oh, and here's another really stupid moment. So at this point, the disruptor goes live and is like talking about how no wait, okay, so first I'm sorry everything is so jumbled, but that's just how this movie's got me now. So I think this is after like the son comes in and makes his call and he's like, Dad, the government has like a project, it's called Goliath, and they're stealing all of our data and that's what the aliens are after. And that's when Ice Cube was like, boy, shut the hell up with all this conspiracy shit.
And it's like the Patriot Act, like none of this should be shocking, my dude.
So he doesn't believe his kid, and then the disruptor goes live on YouTube again, which I am loving that people are still glued to their phones and like social media and shit in the middle of an alien invasion where supposedly the aliens are consuming data and everything's going offline, but
right, and that there's somehow like mass evacuations. Like, where are people gonna go?
And like they have planes falling out of the sky, but they're inconsistent about that too. But it's like, why? Planes don't work. That's not how that works. Planes don't operate off data. They operate on electricity. That's not what the aliens are eating. I feel like this movie is very confused about what it considers data.
Like, especially the plane thing. Like, the thing that was weird is that it, like, crashed at, like, the airport. It's like, most of the other planes are, like, grounded. I'm like, just go on the runway. Like, that has nothing to do with, like, data. Like, you could still manually fly the plane.
But everything is so inconsistent in this movie. At one point, the planes are falling out of the sky, but then later on, there's more planes that are just flying unaffected. Like, just everything, again, works only in ways that this movie needs them to work. But yeah, anyway, again, if you haven't figured it out by now, yeah, the kid is the disruptor, the hacker, whatever. And the way that Icecube figures this out is so mind-numbingly stupid. So
Yes,
So-
like, I feel like we should go into this, because I literally screamed, wait, you could have done this the whole fucking time?
So apparently Icecube has been chasing after this disruptor guy for a while, but couldn't figure out who they were. But as he's listening to the disruptor, he's like, wait, something about this seems familiar. So using some more magical hacking skills that he just has, he is able to erase the voice changer and then realizes, oh shit, this is actually my kid. Which, again, I don't know why he couldn't have just done that before.
Yeah, like, they do it the generic, like, pitch down thing and then pitch it up. Which, by the way, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure that's not how that works.
And I love how, despite all the settings that it has, he is somehow able to get it to the exact pitch to where it sounds exactly like his kid. But yeah, so he calls up his kid and he's like, wait, it was you all along?
Stop until they have it all. It won't 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 stop.
Oh my god, it's Chris Pratt in Guardians 2. Whoa.
What? It's Dave?
What? It's his kid? What?
It's you? It's you!
Yeah. Well, yes, kind of.
How could you,
Yeah.
man? How could you? My own son is hacking the government.
You know, for someone who spends their life watching, you sure do miss a lot. But the past is
Like,
the
he
past.
could have just
Ready to
done
watch
that
now, are you?
all along. So then the kid sends, like, all the files on, like, Goliath or whatever. And keep this in mind, what Icecube types back. He types back, there's nothing in these files that can make me believe you. And then his kid types back really quickly, by the way, like inhumanly quickly, types back, the truth will set you free, Dad, just look at it. And then as soon as Icecube opens this shit up, he doesn't even open the files. He's just looking at the names of the files and he's like, damn, oh my God. Also, there's some shit in here about Skinwalker Ranch because honestly, I am somebody who has in the past watched a lot of like Travel Channel and like Discovery Channel paranormal shows. So as soon as I saw Skinwalker Ranch, I would let out an extra hearty fuck you. But this movie feels like it was written by the people that write those kinds of shows. Like it follows that same kind of logic and like intellectualism or pseudo-intellectualism anyway.
Yeah, like I'm expecting the aliens meme guy like to pop out of the corner.
Wouldn't have shocked me. So Icecube, despite literally telling his son seconds ago, nothing in these files could make me believe you, as soon as he opens up these files, he's like, damn, he was right all along. And then finds out through these files that apparently the government's known about these aliens since like the 1940s. And, you know, Roswell, because Roswell is apparently the only ever alien encounter that's ever happened. And finds out that since the 1940s, the aliens have been coming here attracted by our data, which I don't think I need to tell you why that doesn't make sense. But if you still need an explanation, then here it is. Somehow, in the 1940s, we apparently had enough data to attract aliens from another planet. Like, huh?
Like, the closest thing, I think, to, like, a computer that would have been in mass back then would be, like, an Enigma machine.
But even still, would that really be enough to, like,
No,
attract
that's
these
my
aliens?
whole point.
Like, this is at a point in time where computers barely even exist as a concept. But apparently they're sending out a potent enough signal to attract the aliens. So the point they're trying to make is that the government's known about the aliens, and Clark Gregg's character, who is like Ice Cube's boss apparently knew about this and like he gets an audio file where suddenly Clark Gregg's character turns into like a super villain and he's like goes rogue or whatever. And then so like apparently he just knew that if they activated Goliath, that it would basically be like a signal to bring in the alien invasion. But then Clark Gregg is like, no, I don't even care. We need this.
Which, by the way, because he's went against like a general or whatever, like, would he not be like court-martialed or some shit?
Yeah,
for
apparently
breaking
he
rank?
was. Apparently, despite putting this on against direct orders, he was still able to keep his job and not be like thrown away into a prison somewhere.
Which, by the way, we also have a cute cameo. What honestly, cameo is like a generous term from like Senator Chuck Schumer saying, "No, we're not authorizing this."
Jesus Christ. Which, by the way, there was another thing that really bugged me about this. So, this movie, for most of it, you could tell was like filmed in 2020 or 2021 because of the names involved. The only time where I could tell that they edited this movie recently was to change Twitter to X. And honestly, I think that's the only thing they edited.
Yeah, like, which by the way, I didn't mention this. I mentioned this like as we were watching this. The motion graphics in this, like the quick pans and everything back and forth, like the cinematography, which in big air quotes, is atrocious.
Oh, this was just awful how like everything is just like whoosh whoosh whoosh, everything just pops up, all these notifications just pop up, whoosh 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 whoosh,
Whoosh, motion blur, whoosh, motion blur.
Which I don't know how the hell you could have this in a movie like this that's basically just a screensaver, but fuck. So then, and this is the moment that pissed me off the most. So after Ice Cube is finally convinced about all this, he calls up Agent Coulson and he's like, damn, you were lying to me all along about Goliath and all this other shit. You were keeping this a secret from me. And it's like, how dare you like invade people's privacy? And then it's like, motherfucker, that has been your whole modus operandi for this entire movie. Like you were literally spying on your kids for years. And now you want to act like all high and mighty, like how dare you invade people's privacy when his whole fucking personality is invading his own kids' privacy. And apparently this isn't a new thing either, because even in like text messages, which again, he was spying on his daughter and her boyfriend's text messages. Even she was joking about it in the text, like, oh, you know, he's probably monitoring this. Like, apparently his kids are like fully aware that he does this. So apparently he's just been doing this for a long time, but now he wants to act all high and mighty. Like, how dare you monitor people's privacy? Like, bro! Oh, I got so pissed when he started doing that. Like, why now is he all of a sudden like, oh, damn, how dare you invade people's privacy like that?
Yeah, and then he's like the double standards, like, I just, like, this movie has, like, consistency issues, like, just, like, the plot is just, like, how these characters interact and think and feel just depends on, like, what the moment is. Like, these aren't people. These are just, you know, moments in human skin just reacting to shit. Oh, and then, by the way, I was looking up the first quote-unquote modern computer, which would be the, ENIAC computer, was completed in 1945, and then, like, completed in 1946, and then moved into, like, 1947. So, like, it was barely functioning. So, like, that was one of the first, computers ever. So, like, how would that interact, like, the aliens? Like, it's just, like, a basic Wikipedia search, I feel like, would have resolved a lot of this, movie's world building or lack thereof. Because that's, like, the whole thing. From the people, the plot, the emotions, like, so much of it is that, oh, we're just gonna make the story, you know, based on, like, what we feel or, like, whatever, what's the most exciting. Whether or not structurally it makes sense.
Yeah, which 99% of the time in this movie, it does not at all. Like, for the first 2/3 of this movie, Ice Cube is like violating his kids' privacy constantly. And then all of a sudden at the end, he has like a face turn where he's like, nah, man, like, you can't be monitoring people like that. Says the guy who is fucking hacking his daughter's refrigerator. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
legit, like, he probably hacked it that he probably saw his grandchild being conceived. Like, that is just, like, how anti-respecting of the privacy he is. It is insane. And just I was like, "Really? This is the story we're gonna go with?" It just
And again, he was so brazen about it that his daughter was even joking about it in a text, like, "Yeah, he's probably just monitoring me right now, LOL." Like, this is just a normal thing for his kids, apparently, that they know that he's just constantly spying on them.
Which makes it
Again,
worse, like, how did he not figure out his kid was the hacker?
yeah, no, exactly. Like, he monitors his kids to such a degree. How the hell did it take him that long to figure out that his kid was the hacker?
I guess he went to the Buchanan School of Scientisting.
Anyway, so Icecube confronts Agent Coulson, and then he's like, "Well, nope, now I'm revoking your access," which
And then not even, like, 2 minutes later.
not even 2 minutes later, he's just back online because he finally decides to listen to his kid.
And he gives him full access, so
Full
now
access
he's
back.
truly gone God mode with his, mega cool hacking skills. And I just
This was the epitome of, like, no obstacles at all, like, barely an inconvenience. He loses access for not even a minute. So then his kid was like, "All right, we need to come up with a plan. So let me introduce you to the rest of my hacker friends." And oh my God.
God.
Oh my God. His hacker friends have some of the most absurd code names that you could think of. These are the Avengers that we're working with here. Like, forget like Captain America and Black Widow and Iron Man. Let me introduce you to Code Crusher, Thelma and Louise, and my personal favorite, Starfire.
Like, oh my God.
I know I've said this before, but this movie does feel like it was written by a 5-year-old.
Yeah, this is like the plot was written with crayons on a white wall. Like, this is like amazing levels of incompetence.
So, like, the hacking Avengers come up with the idea to, like, shut down Goliath so that the aliens will go away, which immediately fails because then the aliens somehow reverse engineer it to dox all the hackers and then find out where they live. So then they just detach from their bodies and then blow up all the hackers' houses, except for Icecube's son, who just had his IP bounce somewhere else. So that they just blew up Icecube's house, but he wasn't actually there.
Welcome to the crew. All right, we got the rabbit virus. Sending it to you now.
Nice stress ball, too. Rabbitvirus.exe. Fucking hell, who wrote this?
Bombs away. Heat it up. They eating. Damn it. Something's wrong.
I'm being hacked. They're hacking us.
They're eating our data. My data's being drained.
They're gonna find Goliath with it.
Are you serious? Look at this.
How does that even happen?
Also, you know how I know that they had to have edited this in the years since? That just said X instead of Twitter.
Yeah, I just
Totally exposed. They got your IPs. Y'all gotta get out of there. Haul ass now. Oh my God. Shit.
I love how the data just randomly shows their pictures. Like, wouldn't they have like their webcams taped the shit up like Edward Snowden? Like, what the fuck?
Start fire. Dave, get out of there now. Dave, it's on. No. No. He's okay. He's okay. He's okay.
Oh, Also, how would he still have access to a phone call if all of his data is gone? Like, how are there even any cell towers left functioning? I'm curious where they shot this. Is this like in a random office building, or is this just like icecube's like office? Like, what the fuck?
Dave? What is this?
That was freaking intense.
My God, man! I thought you got hurt. I thought you was in the house.
Oh, you thought I was home?
This is crazy.
Nah, I bounced my signal. I'm chilling at Brian's house.
You had me worried to death, man.
Why do you think you couldn't find Disruptor for a year?
Yeah, but they blew up my house.
Uh-huh.
They blew up my house, man.
Dad, let's
Why
focus.
couldn't you run that signal through Brian's house so they can blow his shit up?
Look, Dad,
huh?
we got a lot of work to do,
I don't have alien invasion insurance.
Which also, why didn't any of the other hackers think to do that? Like,
yeah.
Like why was Icecube's son the only one to figure out to have his IP bounce somewhere else? Like, this is like basic VPN shit. But like, how did any of these other hackers function? How were none of them ever found then? Right?
And I think every one of them were like the biggest like white dudes. Like, they were like just the generic version of hackers.
Yeah, they're basically what you would think a Reddit mod looks like.
Before we go on, I said this during our review. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but this movie feels very much written in the vibe of, you must be an intellectual to be able to understand Rick and Morty. Like, oh my god. It's like, dude, where's the little, fucking little shit, abusing the McDonald's employees over the fucking Szechuan sauce?
Again, this movie was written by 5-year-old. Like, no, it was written by Reddit mods. Like, I could just see as they were writing some of these bangers, they were just like tipping their fedora.
My lady.
Well, anyways, oh god, where were we? So then they're like, all right, we got to come up with a new plan. So NASA lady figures out that the aliens are like part data, part biological, and that's why like the hacking didn't work on them. I don't know. So then
I guess they're supposed to be kind of like the Terminators, but what if that was done badly?
Yeah, so now that they figured that out, they were like, and I called this in the first 10 minutes too, where they mentioned that the daughter was working like this biological code. And as soon as that popped up, I'm like, that's how they're going to beat the aliens, isn't it? And sure as shit, that's exactly what happens. So they were like, all right, since the aliens are biological, we need like this biological like termination code. So then they call up the daughter and she's like, all right, I just need you to translate it to like, I need you to just translate it into data.
Code to DNA to data or
which,
some
by
shit.
the way, how is
dumb.
any of this working? Like, I just don't understand. Like, if the aliens are attracted to data and they're still eating all this data, how are they still able to do all this?
Yeah, like, how the hell is Microsoft Teams still running? Like, Microsoft Teams has trouble running on a good day.
But somehow all of this is still up and they're still able to do all this shit. So Icecube was like, all right, I'm gonna take this to Goliath, but I need y'all to like bring it to me. And this is where all that product placement really kicks into 12th gear. Because then Mr. Amazon delivery driver was like, all right, I'll fly it over to you with our Amazon Prime drone. And he even says like, it's the future of delivery or like whatever. And he's like, suddenly this random Amazon delivery driver just turns into a fucking TIE fighter with all the maneuvering he's doing. So they take the code or the data or whatever and start flying it via drone. And he's like seriously, he's just an Amazon delivery driver, but he's flying this thing and like he's fucking Luke Skywalker killing the Death Star.
Jesus.
And then at one point, like he crashes it on the ground and it just flips over. And they even go like, do a barrel roll. And I couldn't even be bothered to make the Star Fox joke. That's how jaded I was at this point. So they get it knocked over and then they see there's a guy nearby. So Icecube just waves his magic computer mouse again and immediately finds the guy's phone number, and they start texting him like, hey, could you flip this thing over? We'll give you free internet. And the dude's like, no, I don't give a shit about free internet. And then they're like, all right, we'll give you like a free $1,000 gift card for Amazon. And then he immediately just runs out and flips it over.
I guess that's not working. Flip it over. Flip it over. It won't turn over. Damn turtle on its back here. Okay, I got
Oh, it's so tempting you to make the barrel roll joke.
Get his number.
I don't think this guy has a phone.
I mean, he must have a phone. Everyone has a phone. Oh my god. Come on. Tell him to flip the drone.
Come on.
Oh, he could just grab this guy's number on sight.
What's he doing? Come on. Come on. Just flip it over. Just.
Wait, hold on. I got a better idea.
Why is he waiting? What's going on? Wait. Give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000. Hurry. Come on. Yes. Oh my god.
Yes, the guy who doesn't trust the government is going to trust Amazon.com.
Free internet for a year? Nah. $1,000 Amazon gift card? Free internet? Fuck that. But Amazon gift card? All right. I'll step out into the line of fire and get blown out by aliens. Hell yeah. So they fly in the Amazon Prime the data over to icecube. Icecube gets caught by one of the aliens and he literally goes, move, bitch, get out the way.
And we both rolled our eyes like so hard. I'm like, really? Like, this is, dude, like, do you have to be so corny? Like, that is like a white person's joke to make a bitch move out of the way reference. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, the person who wrote that clearly lacked any melanin whatsoever.
Like, that was a dated joke back when this movie was made. But yeah, so in an adaptational choice to end all adaptational choices, they use the program, icecube plugs it in, and that's what kills all the aliens. You know, instead of like a pathogen, it's like an actual computer virus because they eat the data, and I don't fucking care anymore. This is a fucking 10-year-old's idea of like what's cool and what hacking is. So they kill all the aliens, you know. Clark Gregg is arrested, and you know, we got these cute little cameos from like Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson talking about it for some fucking reason. And then this one defense guy calls up icecube, which, by the way, this guy spends like the entire movie on a golf course.
Yeah, which honestly, that was the probably only realistic part about this movie.
It's like nobody takes the actual alien invasion seriously. Like, we got this guy standing out in the open on his golf course during all this, but apparently it's just fine. And I also made this comment during the movie where when the daughter is like leaving or driving somewhere, there's like no traffic at all, and the skies are just clear and blue, even though there's like a fucking meteor shower and alien invasion going on. But yeah, so golf course guy calls up icecube and he's like, well, the president's offering you a job to like make sure that Goliath works without violating people's privacy. And then icecube is like, no, I don't care about that shit anymore. Now I'm gonna be watching all y'all. And then he goes to his daughter's baby shower, and then that's the end of the fucking movie.
Which, by the way, they set it up that it's like the suicide mission, and it's like, no, he's fine, which, God, you could see that coming a mile away, like one of those freaking meteors, but, oh, my lord. Oh, my Lanta.
Oh, but by the way, that also, I forgot to mention this about, like, the baby shower. Like, that was another point of contention where apparently, despite, like, big brothering his kids' lives 100% of the time, he somehow didn't know that she was having a baby shower, despite the fact that she posted it on Facebook like 2 days before. But apparently that was a shock to him. But it's like, this dude has access to every single camera in his daughter's house or apartment, wherever she's living, but apparently can't even access a fucking Facebook post. Ugh, but yeah, that was the movie. It was
definitely a movie.
No, I wouldn't even call it that. I would just straight up say it was fucking awful. I wouldn't even make the "it was certainly a movie" joke because it's not even that good.
I mean, we were going on and off about Rotten Tomatoes, but honestly, that 3% is really generous.
There always has to be the one. It's like whenever they have the Baseball Hall of Fame votes, and there's always that one voter who doesn't vote for somebody and keeps them from like 100%. It's like, I want to know who the jagoff was who gave this thing a positive review, because there was nothing redeeming here. The story is garbage, the writing is garbage, the dialogue feels unnatural, the CGI is some of the worst I've seen, the acting is garbage, everything is just terrible.
Like, yeah, I know this wasn't meant to be a theatrical release, and clearly, like, the whole vibes, like, this is a direct-to-streaming movie, but it's still Amazon. Like, the same company that spent, like, a billion bajillion dollars to get the rights to Lord of the Rings and make, like, a season of TV. I mean, yes, Universal is the production company behind this, and I don't know if this was a co-production or Amazon was just like, "Hey, do you want this? We'll just take it off your hands." Because, I mean, NBC Universal was so embarrassed by this, they wouldn't even put this on fucking Peacock.
I just don't know why this thing. But I guess we should talk about like the adaptational choices, because
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned before that even the best adaptations of War of the Worlds were very different from the source material, but I wouldn't even call this like an actual adaptation. Like, yeah, they call the robots tripods, but they weren't even fucking tripods. And like the aliens are beaten by a virus, but instead of a actual pathogen, it was like a computer virus. But why was this even a War of the Worlds movie? Like, it didn't even feel like that.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. Ugh.
Like, Independence Day felt like a better War of the Worlds adaptation than this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just, of like all the ways, like, here's like my thing. I don't think the initial concept itself of doing like, a kind of like guerrilla style Orson Welles World of the Worlds set in like modern times is inherently like a bad idea. Just not this way. Like, I would have preferred something more akin to like Cloverfield or something like that.
Yeah, this movie just feels so dated. Found footage stuff is pretty much dead and buried already, and you could see why with this. And by the way, like, some of the video I get what they were trying to do, but like the way that some of these video feeds that icecube was watching were just so like crusty and bad did not help at all.
Oh, not only that, but some of the security footage, they had it like it was VHS. In 2020?
Yeah. Even in 2020, that's like, why is it VHS? Like,
it would have made more sense to have them be Ring cameras. I mean, fuck, if we're gonna go the product placement, go the whole way.
And like, Ice Cube's video feed is pristine for the entire movie, but his boss, the director of Homeland Security, apparently his camera footage is also really crusty and staggering. And it's like, why? Like, I get the feeds are being interrupted and like the data's being interfered with, but like, why are some of these video feeds so bad? Like, I get it was probably intentional, but it's still just so ugh. Like, if you're trying to tell a cohesive story, you want to know what's going on, but half the time you can't even tell what's going on. And again, it really doesn't help that the CGI in this was like, I've even seen it.
Like, oh my god, it's the freaking like planes and like the whirly bird. Like, I think I mentioned this earlier, but like, I know this film was always meant to be like kind of like low budget or whatever, but if they were sitting on this for like at least 4 years, there's no reason for this to look like this.
They had the budget to have Ice Cube, Eva Longoria, and a guy who by this point was still doing MCU projects. There was no excuse for how bad the CGI was. They clearly had the money. And again, I mentioned how garbage the alien robots looked and how they fucking like just ragdolled and planked onto the ground at one point. And it's like, there's no consistency at all. And just like from an adaptation standpoint, like the only things you could say were War of the Worlds-esque was that the aliens were beaten by a virus. And that was really it.
Oh my god, you just mentioned that right now. I didn't realize virus and computer virus. Oh my god. Like, that's how much it's broken me. Oh, this is so groan worthy. Oh my god. It's like, there's a reason why H.G. Wells' work has stood the test of time and has been pretty much, what Mary Shelley was to science fiction in like that regard with like monsters and stuff. H.G. Wells was that to more of like the sciencey like aspects of like science fiction. Like I don't think you would have like your modern sci-fi franchises like your Star Treks, your Star Wars, or whatever if it was not for like the work of H.G. Wells. Because I think H.G. Wells, at bare minimum, put the idea of aliens into the public consciousness.
Absolutely. Like, alien movies would not exist without War of the Worlds. Without War of the Worlds, we would not have like Star Wars and Star Trek. We would not have like Alien or Predator or like stuff like Cloverfield or Independence Day. Like, none of that would have existed without War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds introduced the term Martian. Like, I just don't know how you could take something that was so influential to fiction as a whole and botch it this badly beyond recognition. And I understand that the screen life thing was pretty much a necessity because of the time that this was filmed. It's still no excuse for how bad this was and how bad it looked.
Like if you like honestly, the screen life thing, all thing considered, is like my least issues with this movie. That could be a cool storytelling device if there was an actual story to tell. Because it's like, okay, like even like Ice Cube's arc, like what was his arc supposed to be exactly? Like, is he supposed to be like a better father? Is he supposed to like, believe that the government can be evil and find like, the truth? Like, what is his whole deal even supposed to be?
Again, it's whatever the movie needs it to be at a given time, because how do you have a guy that is so, his whole character up to like a certain point is just that he is so invasive and dismissive of other people's privacy, especially his own children. And then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, how you can't monitor people's privacy and data like this, when that was basically his whole freaking character up to that point. And like there is nothing consistent. Character motives aren't consistent. Logic when it comes to data and electricity isn't consistent. Nothing about this is consistent. And again, from an adaptational standpoint, like, again, the whole point in the original book and the other adaptations is that human technology was so insufficient against these aliens that even like the nuclear option wasn't working. And the only way that the aliens lost was because they couldn't adapt to human pathogens. But in this movie, they can just hit them with missiles and they'll fall over.
It's like this film almost feels like if, whoever wrote this movie read the cliff notes of War of the Worlds and then threw that into Chat GPT.
Well, like, again, this was 2020 before like the plague of generative AI infected everything.
I know, which honestly makes it worse.
Like, I kept saying during this that this felt like it was AI generated, especially the dialogue and the writing.
Which, by the way, I just realized we didn't address this. Like, so much of this movie, I think, was like just stock footage. Like, just everything about this movie just feels so artificial.
Oh my god, yes. Like, it felt like just so much just stock footage and just stuff that just everything about this felt so unnatural. Like the CGI, the footage, the dialogue, the writing, the acting, everything is just so ugh. You just know that's a lot of this would have been AI generated if it was made today.
Oh yeah, 250%.
But the fact that it wasn't almost feels worse. because they don't even have that excuse. It was just bad by itself. Like, you and I, we have both been writing for a very long time, and we have both seen some really, really bad examples of writing and character dialogue over the years. This is honestly some of the worst writing I have ever had to experience, because there was just no consistency, and just the logic just felt so, like, this felt like a juvenile's understanding of like hacking.
Yeah, no, the whole it's not even just the hacking, just everything about this is just so juvenile. Like, the exact vibe is, like, you know, the really bad stuff that you used to see on fanfiction.net, like, back in the day? It feels like that. Like, there's just, like, no structure, like, it's a bunch of ideas, but, like, there's no actual story or structure, anything that, makes a narrative work. And I haven't read a lot of scripts like this lately, but sometimes you'll get like people that like, when I'm giving them notes, it's like, okay, you clearly come from like a prose background or whatever, and you clearly have no idea of like what story and structure is. I mean, not to kind of like, toot my own horn or whatever, but you have to have like some basic understanding. Like, you can't afford a class, just watch YouTube videos. Like, literally, just watch and, like, listen to stuff. I mean, that's the best way. Like, I kinda learned how to write at first, it was literally just writing pages of the dialogue. I mean, this literally feels like no one just really gave a shit at all, and it just everything about this just feels so amateur. Like, honestly, like, this is embarrassing.
Like, this felt like a kid's understanding of how hacking works, how computers work, how the government works. Like, there are some things in here, like headlines, that are just like, oh, crazy meteor shower happens. And then you'll have like these government workers with file names like, oh, government access.nav, or like computer virus dot exe or whatever. It's like, this felt like it was written again by 5-year-olds, because that's just what the logic dictates and gives off. Ugh. Like, Return to Zombie Island made me upset at a visceral level, so I can still say that just for me it felt worse.
Yeah, the experience, I felt like it was worse. But if we're just being honest with ourselves,
from a technical standpoint, narratively, writing, graphically, everything about this felt wrong. And I can honestly say that it is joint top for me. At least with the movies that we've watched for this series, it's joint top for me in terms of the worst that we've watched, just because everything about this felt wrong and amateurish. And like, icecube isn't going to be winning any Oscars anytime soon, but he's not a bad actor. Eva Longoria is not a bad actress. Clark Gregg is not a bad actor. But this movie made them look like they are.
yeah, like, the direction, like, is shit. Like, everyone just looks dazed and confused. And I think that's because they were given no direction.
Yeah, no direction at all. And like, some of these news broadcasts, it felt like they were being read directly from a script. That is how like lifeless and awful it is. I mean, we already made jokes about how Ice Cube's dialogue, just half of it is just him being like, damn, shit, damn.
I'm almost wondering if they just were like loosey goosey and asked him to improv, and he's like, I don't really know how to do that. So I would not be shocked, because this movie just seems like it was slapped together really quick, and then people realized as they were putting it together, shit. I would not be shocked if that's what happened.
Wouldn't shock me either, because that's just what so much of it just sounded like. So yeah, as a movie, terrible. As an adaptation of War of the Worlds, honestly, even worse. Like, you could argue that even the best adaptations of War of the Worlds weren't necessarily good adaptations. This has to be one of the worst quote unquote adaptations I've ever seen of anything because it just feels like it misses the point. Like, this didn't even feel like an alien invasion movie, really.
No, really, it didn't.
Because, like, you only really experience, like, the aliens, like, from the view of, like, a phone and from, like, some choppy footage. And even then, they made them look horrible.
I just genuinely, like, the animation, like, it baffles me. I'm like, dude, like, shove that shit in Houdini or, like, Nuke or some shit. Like, even, like, The Sims, like, for the explosions looked fucking awful.
And, like, even some, like, Steam games that just use, like, Unity assets have more fluid looks to them than this. I know we keep harping on that one scene of, like, the tripod just planking and ragdolling, but that's how a lot of this felt like.
No, that's it. They're like, just put the base simulation. They're like, put the basic physics in there. Cool. Render.
But yeah, terrible movie, even worse adaptation. Like, people, the reviews you're seeing and watching online, they're not exaggerating. This really does feel like a contender for worst movie of the year. It is just that bad in every aspect where you just have to wonder why it was even made to begin with.
I mean, to me, it feels like it was during the pandemic, half-baked ideas, like, "Oh, cool." They're like, "War of the Worlds, this is perfect," and people just got way in over their heads. People knew, "Oh, this is a big, giant turd," tried to bury that turd, and then for whatever reason, maybe legal or, like, whatever, they released it on Amazon Prime, and that's where we're at now.
And we're all worse off for it. Oh, God. Like, we both knew coming in that this was going to be terrible. Like, for a lot of the movies we watch, we go in and we're just like, we don't know what we're getting. Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be good? We don't know. But this was one of those movies that we both came in knowing it was going to be bad. And even then, I was shocked at just how bad it really was.
Yeah, it's shockingly bad. Like, it is textbook, like, all the things that you're not supposed to do in screenwriting, and I'm like, you know what it reminded me of? I had this one professor, it was my English professor in, like, community college. He was like, he was cool. He was like a leftist, like Lex Luthor, and said, regularly that Monsanto's was the devil, which it totally was. But he used to give us this little exercise of where he would take student essays from, I guess, like another school that he worked at or whatever, and just, the names are, taken off and would just give it to us to look over and like grade for like structure or like a grammar or whatever. And that's a lot of how I've learned because he was like, the best way to learn how to write is like, I can't teach you like a good way to write, but I could teach you how not to write. And that's what that felt like. This felt like to me.
Yeah, this felt like something you would show to a film class if you wanted to teach them what not to do. This is how you don't render something graphically. This is how you don't write character motivations. This is how you don't write dialogue. This is how you don't direct your actors to perform. Just everything here felt amateur. It felt rushed. It felt half-baked, not even half-baked, not even a quarter-baked.
Like raw meat, like just like the slaughterhouse is right over there. And like the carcass is just sitting in the noonday sun.
This felt to me like an Amazon package that just gets left on the front door that you call in the bomb squad to dispose of. That it should have just stayed disposed of and never opened and seen the light of day. But they did, and we all had to suffer for it.
I mean, I know this is like a little bit mean for us, and I still believe that all art is valid no matter how bad it is, but and again, I don't want to shit on people because I'm sure people, were given this unceremoniously and did the best that they could with probably literally nothing. But if this was my work that came out, I honestly would be embarrassed. Like I would not highlight that I did this work, which is a really fucking shitty feeling to have. Because even like the worst projects, because there's something recently going around where animation fans being animation fans or like harassing people that worked on Fixed. Like I had to watch like most of Fixed for like doing like an editorial review. It was fine. It was whatever. It's just not my general vibe, but I didn't like hate it. It was just like, this movie definitely felt like it would have been popular in the middle schools in 2003. But I'm not saying these words slightly. This is just embarrassing on all levels. And I don't want to say people should feel ashamed, but this is not something that you are proud of on your resume. I mean, it's a job, but good lord, this was a doozy.
The way you phrase it, that's what it feels like. This feels like something that somebody made in high school. Everybody was ashamed of it. They all forgot about it. Everybody moved on and had better careers after it. And then somebody dug it up to try to embarrass whoever was involved. That's what this movie feels like. It feels like one of those projects that an animation fan digs up to try to shame somebody they don't like. Like, it would not surprise me if a lot of the actors and like people involved in writing this forgot they were even involved with it. And then as soon as this popped up, they just had to live through it all over again.
Yeah, that would not shock me. I mean, hell, if people can forget, that they were on like one of James Cameron's Avatar films, like I'm sure they forgot this piece of shit.
Ugh, like, we're going to go back to doing just like obscure, dumb movies after this, but like this.
I mean, I'm glad we addressed this, that in our nearly 4-hour raw record time that we addressed this, because I mean, I feel like for us, like we can't be like a bad movies podcast unless we talk about like the big ones. Again, I know that's like a normie take, but I kind of feel like our approach is just, I I still enjoyed this like on like a bad level. Like it amused me, but oh my god.
Yeah, I would still call this fun bad. There was just so much there where you could just look at it and be like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like I still
ugh.
insist that a fun bad movie is better than a boring bad movie. And I was still entertained by how bad this movie was, but
like
yeah.
Like the only good thing I will say is despite all of our pausing, which made it feel longer, this movie is like a merciful 90 minutes.
Yeah, so if you do choose to suffer through it, you at least won't be suffering through it for very long.
Like this is the kind of a movie that I think if you were like high, this would be amazing. I mean, I just, had a girly glass of wine with steak, but hey, if you want to do like a bunch of weed or all the drugs, I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to judge you because I'm just a voice on a pair of AirPods more than likely. I would go ahead. Like, this is not a movie that you go into like willingly expecting a good time on its own. This is like a movie that you vibe with other people.
Yeah, no, if I had to watch this movie by myself, I probably would have just turned it off like 10 minutes in. This feels like a movie that's built for you just grab a friend or two, turn it on, point and laugh at it. Like, I could not suffer through this movie by myself. I could not.
I might have turned it off too. Like, I have a strong constitution, but this for me might have been a bridge too far.
Like, there are some things that if you watch by yourself, you're not going to be able to get through. I mean, the only other movie that I've watched that I just could not suffer through by myself was Batman and Robin. Like, I turned that on, and 5 minutes in, I was like, oh, God, no, I can't. This is too bad. I feel like this movie would have been the same way if I just turned it on. I would have been like, yeah, no, I have better things to do with my time.
Meanwhile, like, I probably would have suffered through it because I'm a completionist and maybe slightly a masochist.
God. Well, next time around, we'll be back to our usual grind, but we just had to push through this because holy crap.
We'll be back to more, not this shenanigans later, but thank you again, Gio, for going on this war on our sanity together. Where can everyone find you in the trenches?
So, if you want to see me ramble on about whatever movie we watched or maybe gush about VTuber merch or whatever merch I would have gotten on any given day, you could find me at evking13.bsky.social. Yeah.
And then you can find me hacking life, like a god or icecube or whatever, at crazylemur.bsky.social. I'm also on Instagram at lemurs rule1. I regularly post pictures of my pupper, Elfie, art, other cool stuff. So, hey, if you want to see something good, unlike this, you can follow me. Anyway, I have a feeling this is going to be the longest episode of Lay Crap ever. This might be longer than the actual movie itself. I would not be shocked. But until our next cinematic escapade, we will see y'all next time.
This movie thinks we're fucking idiots. This movie thinks we're fucking idiots. Also, again, Skinwalker Ranch, fuck you. Fuck you. This is fucking Travel Channel, Disney Plus, Discovery Plus bullshit.
Aliens.